Yes, we are back. Good to be here once again. It's a beautiful Friday morning, and the station is 32 FM 94.9, 4 minutes past 6, and it's time for the papers review. I am Olutayo Ogunade, and of course, the papers are here. Bemi Shoyemi is right here. Good morning, Bemi.
Good morning, and good morning, dear listener. My name is Bemi Sola Shoyemi. Thank God it's another Friday. I have on my Daily Post and Punch newspapers. I'll kick off with headlines from Daily Post. Lawyer gives update on Nnamdi Kanu's 5 billion naira suit against federal government. We arrested Chiwet Alagu for inciting Nigerians to join IPOP army. Passengers stranded as transport companies withdraw services in Ebonyi. Bandits massacre 18 Nigerians in Zamfara as federal government withholds list of terror financiers. Bandits from neighboring states terrorizing Anambra, Obiano tells Buhari. NLC urges Jigawa government to lift employment embargo on critical sectors. State of emergency, Obiano playing politics with security situation in Anambra. That's coming from Andy Uba. Return Nigeria to 12-state structure, bring back old national anthem. Olumbabu. All right. 30,000 naira minimum wage no longer takes Nigerian workers home. NLC. 2023, 2 policemen, lawyers, 6 others killed in Ebonyi community. Federal government backs Malami over call for state of emergency in Anambra. And let's see this one before we move on to another paper. Media allows people castigate Buhari, preach disunity. That's coming from Lai Mohammed.
And from Daily Trust, UK waives pre-departure tests for fully vaccinated Nigerian travelers. PDP NEC approves zoning of chairmanship to North. He's an IPOP supporter. Army defense arrest of Nollywood actor. Geopolitical dynamics of Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. What to know about malaria vaccine for children. You find from Daily Trust. 90% tech that powers Nigeria's economy imported. No tap. Strike. Petroleum tanker drivers urge to dialogue with federal government. Atiku, PDP's decision on zoning orders will determine its chances in 2023. Buhari, not in support of emergency in Anambra, Obiano claims. Nigeria's debt borrowing still sustainable. Buhari, tight security at NAS as Buhari presents 2022 budget. Some more from Daily Trust, UK medication, Bajabia Miller governors order spend millions to visit Tinubu. Strike, petroleum tanker drivers urge to dialogue with federal government. One or two more before we go to another paper. Nigerian governors to meet over insecurity. Oshibajo off to UK for UN meetings on energy transition.
All right, from Punch newspaper, sell refineries, moribund assets, reduce deficit. Economists, National Assembly tell Buhari. Well, a repetition of the same bunch of advice. Chairmanship, PDP governors insist on North. NEC adopts zoning report. Southeast governors, elite can't decide Igbo's fate. IPOB replies Umahi. Army denies compelling soldiers visiting families to purchase torchlights. And this one says, I'll make Ogun safest state, says new CP. Pandora Papers, I did not violate any law, says Peter Obi. Oshun couple found dead at home, buried without autopsy. House help held. From the Metro side, Grandma weeps as Oyo policemen extort family of 150,000 naira house rent. Oshun Amotekun arrests suspected interstate kidnapper. Bandit killed, 3 arrested, 6 victims rescued in Kaduna. Reps propose compensation for airport neighbors over noise and emission. Stock market gains 33 billion naira as volume jumps 103%. Federal government to unveil 2022 budget details today. And Nigeria grants 992.9 billion naira import waivers in 2 years. That's according to a report. Edo PDP divided over Rep Obi, others suspension for anti-party activities. And finally from here, Plateau residents accuse Gbajabia Miller of discrimination.
From Premium Times, Nigeria, Pandora Papers, Peter Obi reacts, tries to mislead Nigerians. Okay, that's a write-up. Patients throng hospitals as striking Nigerian doctors resume. Buhari told me he is against state of emergency in Anambra, Obiano, World Cup qualifiers. CR stunned Nigeria's Super Eagles. Okay, we saw that match yesterday. Something needs to be done to the Super Eagles and the coach. 2023, PDP keeps mum on presidential ticket zoning, approves committee's recommendations. Popular actor Argo arrested for allegedly recruiting for IPOB. Pandora Papers, FRS vows to go after culpable individuals. Alleged defamation, court summons Fani Kaude's estranged wife, Precious. Debts we borrowed our way out of recessions. Buhari, budget 2022. Budget 2022, Lawan decries level of deficit. APC chairmanship, my ambition not do or die affair. Akume. Let's see one or two more. 2023, Atiku speaks on zoning, says it's neither Nigeria's problem, no solution.
All right, I'll take a look at the Nation newspaper and see the headlines we have there this morning. Okay, all right, let me see. Okay, let's take a few more from Punch before we move to the Nation. Leadership recruitment, cost of Nigeria's setback, ANYM. Ebonyi transporters withdraw services over selling or sealing of parks. I'll take that again. Ebonyi transporters withdraw services over sealing of parks. Police storm Kano Illegal Rehabilitation Center, rescue 47. And okay, let me quickly take a few from the Nation. NCC blames pandemic for cyber crimes. 4,000 Lagos farmers get relief materials. And okay, police parade 20 suspects in Benue. Court dismisses suit seeking reversal of sacked expectant police woman. And let's see, student dies in Anambra gas explosion. And okay, those are headlines from the Nation newspaper.
Alright, welcome back. It's time now. Let's go to the detail of some of the headlines. And in a bit, also Duma will be joining us for some analysis. Nigerian governors to meet over insecurity. Some governors from the northwest would soon meet with their colleagues from the Niger Republic over security challenges in their states. The governors are Aminu Tambuwa Sokoto, Bello Matawali Zamfara, and Aminu Masari Katsina. They would meet the governors of Doso, Maradi, and Tawa of Niger Republic in order to stop killings by bandits in the region. Tambuwa announced this during a one-day visit to the state of Maradi in Niger Republic, where thousands of refugees displaced by bandits from the region settled. From Daily Trust, Nigerian governors meet over insecurity.
All right, let's see. I'll take this one from Daily Post, and it says federal government backs. Okay, it says federal government backs. Let me see. I beg your pardon. Okay, bandits from neighboring states terrorizing Anambra. Obiano tells Buhari. Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State on Thursday held a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. Obiano, who updated Buhari on security challenges facing the state, said bandits from neighboring states are responsible for the killings and disruption of public peace in Anambra. He describes the call for the declaration of state of emergency to address security challenges in the state as very unfortunate.
Austin Adumo joins us on the program. Good morning to you, Austin.
Good morning, Tayo.
All right.
Good morning.
Bandits from neighboring states.
Yes, who are these bandits? Are they faceless? I don't want to believe so. We really need to come very hard and communicate so decisively, perhaps in the language that they will understand. We need to nip in the bud the killings, especially in Anambra State, and by extension the entire southeastern part of the country. We can't continue like this. Whether they are non-state actors, whether they are unknown government, they are not bigger than the state. A pointer has clearly been revealed by the governor that bandits from neighboring states. I hope the governor is not also playing politics. with that particular comment. The comment is suggestive of the fact that the governor perhaps knows those who are responsible for this. According to him, that might be for political reason, just to ensure that his party does not return as into government as far as that state is concerned. I disagree completely that a state of emergency should be the way to go. The constitution has provided that the president can take extraordinary measure to address the issue of security in any part of the country. The extraordinary measure does not highlight the option of state of emergency alone. The president has also taken some extraordinary measure in some states that is bedeviled with high level of banditry and insurgency. So that is the best way to go. Perhaps deploy troops to ensure that peace is restored in that particular part of the country. The Anambra situation is peculiar because of the election. You understand? Of course, the Attorney General of the Federation, this is what we have always said. The office of the AGF is so sensitive and strategic, but Malami has bastardized that office in the sense that it's making it look, his action and inaction has removed the F from the AG. You know, it should be AGF, but it's looking more like Attorney General of Northern Nigeria. It shouldn't be. You come out to interpret the position of the law so clearly. A state of emergency cannot be the only option to be put on the table in the case of Anambra. Of course, I agree that election is coming, election must hold. But some people have vowed that election will not hold. So the government should deal with the situation without necessarily imposing a state of emergency. So the needless controversy should not come.
I beg your pardon. It looks like a lot of people are not on Malami's side on that particular statement. But then we have the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, saying Malami's position was to avert a constitutional crisis in the state. And you know, most times when Lai Mohammed speaks, even the Attorney General of the Federation, we could refer to them as the mouthpiece of the federal government. So you see headlines coming out as the federal government has said this. Now, it looks like the federal government is backing Malami through the Minister of Information and Culture.
But Obiano has told us that the president said a state of emergency is not on the table at all.
So who do we believe?
See, the comment by Mr. President, it is Obiano that told us that the president does not support a state of emergency.
Right.
We should have expected an independent statement coming from the Aso Villa to state the position of Mr. President. I am still very much of the opinion that perhaps state of emergency option was discussed at some point. I don't know whether you get the point.
Right.
It was discussed at some point.
And Malami misinterpreted it.
If it was no, he didn't misinterpret it. Most of the time, we always think that some people are speaking not the mind of Mr. President. But during the occasion of the June 12th, that the president in a long time had to address the press, granted an interview. All that is said tally with some of the things that either to have been said by some of his aides. So it will have amounted to a name dropping. If nobody talks about state of emergency at all, and Malami just came out. Rather than telling Obiano if that is even the truth in a one-on-one discussion, why don't you come out in the open, issue a statement that no, my Attorney General, you goofed on this. Now, after the president met with Willie Obiano, Lai Mohammed came out again and said, yes, it is to avert a constitutional crisis. And we still have the president. The point I'm making is that the president should come out very clearly if indeed no idea of a state of emergency was mooted.
I am troubled by the way we compare evils in this country. And some would say that, see, you have killings going on in some parts of the north almost on a daily basis, and you've never really considered state of emergency. Why are you meeting that now for Anambra State?
That is why a lot of people will see it as politically motivated. Because if you look at it, the law states that, don't also forget, when we talk about state of emergency, we believe a situation where democratic structure within the state will be collapsed. That on its own is unconstitutional. The type of state of emergency that we looked at, that was what Goodluck Jonathan declared by allowing the democratic structure in those states to still function. And that was never effective. The idea of comparing the number of people that lost their life on a daily basis to some part of the country, in my view, that is uncalled for. But let's come to look at it. The law states clearly that the president could put in place some extraordinary measure to provide security of life and property. So if you look at some of this argument, it is neither here nor there. It is purely politics that is at play. So my grouse is that if the Mr. President, like Obiano has said, does not want a state of emergency, a situation where governors, the governor of the state will be removed, the president should come out very clearly, not tell you Obiano, he should have told the nation. Because Malami spoke to the nation. Malami addressed the press and the whole nation heard about it. Like Mohammed yesterday said it, the whole nation heard about it. Now, President Buhari told Obiano alone. Obiano only re-echo what the president said.
He told me.
Quote and unquote, we were not there. You understand?
But what's your own take?
My own take is that no state of emergency should be declared in Anambra State for whatever reason. Not even for political reason. No state of emergency should be declared. I am also of the opinion that the president should have looked for a better medium.
Well, how are we going to conduct election in that state with the spate of violence?
See, Tayo, that is extraordinary measure that we are talking about. Did we conduct election in Borno State? Election held in Yobe. The strategy that was put in place to ensure that election held in some of these areas, let us put it in place. Even El-Rufai conducted local government election in the middle of assault against military formation.
Deploy military?
Deploy military and ensure that election hold. Because we are also I told you that the Anambra situation is peculiar. So by fiat, you can't just compare. Because election is coming. And some people have said election will not hold.
So we're already talking about issues of harassment of people, civilians now.
That is the issue. See, whatever we have to do, election must hold in Anambra. Because if we get to a level where election cannot hold, it will create a constitutional crisis. That in itself is bad. So let the government come out very strongly that yes, we are above the non-state actors. Non-state actors cannot dictate the tune that election would not hold.
And that might also pass a message about 2023.
Yes, all the options that we are looking at, let us remove the idea of a state of
I spoke
emergency.
about they carrying out their duties without infringing on the fundamental human rights of civilians in the states they've been sent to protect. We read just yesterday, and it's here today in the news, a popular Nollywood actor that was harassed by some military men yesterday. I mean, and for his offense was that he was wearing a Biafran outfit. Good outfit.
Yes. We saw it, when the idea of a military operation started in Anambra State. We said, let the military be more professional, adhere strictly to the rule of engagement. Of course, the military has issued statements concerning the arrest yesterday. Even if you are arresting, you are not supposed to harass. You are not supposed to molest. You are not supposed to dehumanize. You understand? So, even if you have valid case, you said he was putting on a Biafra outfit.
Is there a law that says you cannot?
No, wait. There is no law. Okay. Everybody has that outfit. Of course, a lawmaker even put on something like that to the National Assembly. Taya, I hope you remember. A senator. You understand? A very high-ranking senator for that matter. But the military version of the statement read that the Nollywood actor was canvassing people, as in soliciting for support for IPOB. Tayo, IPOB in the Nigerian context today has been proscribed. I don't know whether you get it.
Right.
So let us do thorough investigation to know whether that particular actor was actually trying to recruit people, canvass for support in the open for membership of IPOB.
He openly identified with IPOB.
You can wear the outfit. That in itself is not a crime.
Austin, Sheikh Gumi openly identified with bandits.
See, the Nigerian situation today, Tayo, we are still trying to appeal to Mr. President to manage to declare bandit as a terrorist group. But IPOB has been proscribed. IPOB has been labeled a terrorist group in Nigeria. Today.
Let's quickly go on this commercial break. When we get back, I will take some of your thoughts.
The next family to perform is the Johnson's family.
I'm breaking all limits. I turn challenges into opportunities.
Biovit Vitamin B Complex is an ideal daily supplement for the family. Manufactured with vitamin B1, B2, and B6. Biovit supports development of the infant and helps boost energy for pregnant women. For a healthier and happier family, take Biovit.
Biovit Vitamin B Complex. Strength for active family. Produced by Daily Need Industries. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Good things come in pairs like salt and pepper, bread and beans, sport and entertainment.
Say what?
That's right. Showmax Pro is bringing you the best of both worlds.
Everybody strap in. We're about to open some windows.
Now you can watch live sport from Supersport.
In your life have you seen anything like that?
As well as movies, originals, award-winning international and local shows, plus kids shows when you sign up at showmax.com.
láti gòkè àgùnlà láyé èèyàn nílò ìtọ́sọ́nà ẹni tó mọ̀nà débi àṣeyọrí. FMH International HR àwọn ni gbajúgbajà akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ alárinà tó mọ ojúlẹ̀jà bá ti ń tọ́ni sọ́nà finimọ̀nà nípa bí gbogbo òǹwáṣẹ́ lè pàdé àwọn òǹgbanisíṣẹ́ pàápàá jùlọ láwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó wà lókè òkun.
FMH International HR alábàáṣepọ̀ gidi ni wọ́n jẹ́ pẹ̀lú àjọ oníwádìí ìjìnlẹ̀ àgbáyé tá a mọ̀ sí United Nations Volunteer Research Group láti jùmọ̀ tọpinpin wàhálà táwọn ọmọlẹ́yìn kojú nídìí ìgbìyànjú ajé lọ sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. ìyẹn ọ̀rọ̀ tó jẹ mọ́ international migration àti international labour activities.
ǹjẹ́ o tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé o nílò ìmọ̀ tó jinlẹ̀ dáadáa nípa ìlànà à ń tẹ̀lé láwọn pápákọ̀ òfurufú tó fẹ́ gbà sọdá sílẹ̀ òkèèrè. lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá a ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí United Nations Volunteer Research Group pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ FMH International HR ń ṣe research lórí ẹ̀dùn ọkàn àti ìpèníjà tẹ́ ẹ bá ní. questionnaires táwọn òṣìṣẹ́ FMH bá fún yín lágbègbè yín lẹ́ẹ̀ ṣàlàyé ìrírí yín sí.
fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ kàn sí wọn ní 3rd and 9th floor Cocoa House Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn.
telephone 0817 4444 627
àti 08168737222.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Ilé-iṣẹ́ Danobit Homes and Property tún dé o.
Danobit Homes and Properties lóko rẹ̀.
Àti pẹ̀lú ọ̀nà rọrùn tó yàtọ̀ láti sọ yín donílẹ̀ donílé. Ilẹ̀ tiwa fi ní lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Wàhálà ọmọ onílé ò sí lọ́dọ̀ tiwa. Àwọn yàtọ̀ sáwọn tí ń talẹ̀ ojúgbó. Gbangba láàyè tó tẹ́jú nílẹ̀ wá wà. Àwa là ń ta Treasure Estate. Tí wà ní Ìdó Ológun Ẹrúwé 650,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan. Victory Estate phase 1 Alábàtàmọ́ níyà ń bàdàn. 5-minute drive. Sírẹ́lùwẹ̀ tuntun. Àti dry port 800,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan o. Victory Estate phase 2 Alábàtà mọ́níyà ń bàdàn bákan náà. ìrìnsẹ́jú mẹ́ta péré sínú railway line àti dry port 850,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan o. àǹfààní wà fún sísan díẹ̀díẹ̀ láàrin oṣù mẹ́ta níléeṣẹ́ Danobit Homes and Property. àmẹ́ máa wá sílé iṣẹ́ wa fún àsọjẹ́ tó ń ti àjọsọpọ̀. eléyìí tó gún mọ́ fún sísan owó ọ̀hún. ẹni tó bá sanwó lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà gbé tán ó máa gba báàgì símẹ́ǹtì 5. a sì tún ṣe kọ́nà bìsì fún lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. ẹ̀yin náà máa bọ̀ sílé iṣẹ́ wa fún ilẹ̀ tó fi ní lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Danobit Homes and Property property a wà ní prime time plaza ọbalẹ́sìnlọ́yẹ̀ phase 2 lójú ọ̀nà tó lọ sí free Ìbàdàn 0904-779-7352 0818-841-8137.
With Airtel Home Broadband device, your home is connected and you all can focus on the important things in life. Enjoy the finer things in life in the Airtel HBB seasonal offer. Visit any certified Airtel shop to get a 4G MiFi at 9,999 Naira plus up to 55 gigabyte bonus data, or router at 19,999 Naira plus up to 160 gigabyte bonus data. Offer valid while stock lasts. Terms and conditions apply.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Egbògi kan ti délẹ̀ yìí, egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe ni, ó dára fẹ̀jẹ̀ gidi gan. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o. Veneto cleanser ló ń jẹ́ o.
Ojú rẹ̀ ṣàǹjọ̀lọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ kí làṣírí ẹ wà rí.
Veneto cleanser ni.
Já mi sí ọ̀rẹ́.
Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí bádọ̀tí ara wọ̀ yá ìjà rẹ̀ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n yẹbẹyẹbẹ. Inú tó ń dàrú gbòdògbòdò kò bára rẹ̀ èrí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Amọ̀nà ti dé o. Veneto cleanser egbògi àtẹ̀jẹ̀ṣe tí a fi ewé àti egbò ṣe ní ọ̀nà tìgbàlódé. NAFDAC fòǹtẹ̀lù MA1 Nigeria Limited ni wọ́n gbé Veneto cleanser jáde. A wà ní nọ́mbà 17 Ọba Akínyẹlé off Adeokun Street Aláàfin Avenue Olúyọ̀lé Estate Ring Road Ìbàdàn. Telephone 08034051533 fún títà àti rírà. Ìwọ náà darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Veneton cleanser àmọ̀tẹ́kùn egbòogi tí ń ya gbogbo kòkòrò inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wẹ́lẹ́wẹ́lẹ́.
Thank you for staying tuned. 32 FM 94.9, Breaker Down Newspaper Review. We are still taking headlines, and of course, Austin Idumo is still in the studio doing justice to the analysis of the major stories. We are live on YouTube. 32 FM 949 Ibadan. You can join us live on YouTube and drop your comments. If you have questions for Austin, you can also drop them as well. Let's engage. Now let's talk about the 2022 budget. This is in the Guardian newspaper, and it says budget of growth in quote raises doubt amid high debt. How and of course low incomes. Okay, budget of growth raises doubt amid high debts and low incomes. The details will be ruled out today. What are we expecting, Austin?
Well, we are not expecting anything very different. The only major highlight as far as the budget is concerned is that the government within the next fiscal year will have to increase our rate of borrowing. That's the only thing we can see. And a lot of people are asking, how long are we going to continue, especially on this part? The president at the presentation yesterday did say that we actually borrowed our way out of recession. Countries that have had to undergo recession, they spend their way out of recession. But our own government feel that we need to borrow to be out of recession. Before recession,
we borrowed and we now
before recession, we have always borrowed. The president also talked about COVID-19 shrinking the income of the country. We have also been notorious in borrowing even before the pandemic broke out. That's the truth of the matter. The idea now is that the president has exceeded the 3% threshold set by the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2007. So the implication of that is that to GDP, we are nowhere to be found. And the government will come up with the argument that, debt to GDP is still very much in order.
Austin,
over 30%.
How realizable is this budget?
The budget is not, we have never presented a realistic budget in Nigeria. That's just the truth. Before Buhari and during Buhari, it has always been presentation, and at the end of the day, the essence of a budget is to identify the people's need, and at the end of the day, the people benefit from it. Look at the amount, for example, that is going on recurrence. Not all of us work for the government. Not all of us are appointee of the government. how much of this fund goes into infrastructure at the end of the day. There's a difference between the budgeted amount and the released amount at the end of the day.
Right.
A budget that is also premised on over 6 trillion deficits. How do we finance?
So, but as long as you have
a budget,
a chunk of your budget going into recurrent, that is still nothing at the end of the day.
That is still nothing at the end of the day. It will not impact the life of the people. A budget that impact the life of the people is when you have larger percentage of the budget going to the economy, which is rich sector. In terms of infrastructure, critical infrastructure, implementation of budget and projects, these are the areas. For the first time, the Senate president had to come out yesterday, maybe because of prayer, to say that, the borrowing is alarming. So let the federal government look in that direction. If you have to spend about 90 naira of your revenue to service debt, you know what that means? You are not even paying the debt
itself.
You are paying the interest. You know, when you borrow money and you feel that you can't meet up this month, what do?
So we're looking at another deficit of about 5 trillion naira.
More than that, Tayo. That's the implication. We are not done with.
How are we going to finance that? Through borrowing.
Through borrowing.
So we are in another round now.
Of course, that is what I've always said. When a budget is presented before the National Assembly and that budget is scrutinized, quote and unquote, and approved, we have technically borrowed money. That's the truth. But most of the time, we wait for the president to send the borrowing plan to the National Assembly before we start crying. But borrowing technically have been done at the process of approving the budget. If you bring a deficit budget and the National Assembly will have to approve that, what are we saying? We are saying that in the next fiscal year, we are going to borrow money. And this, we are asking for debt forgiveness. And our lifestyle as a government has not changed in terms of the cost of governance. So where do we go from here?
Nothing tells the common man that we are really serious about changing the narrative. All right? Recurrent is still taking a chunk of our budget. All right? So little is going into infrastructural development, which will have direct bearing on the people.
On the people.
Well, I was going to say the Director General of Budget Office confirmed that it is the biggest budget to ever be presented by the federal government. And also, he said it was way lower than it should be.
That we presented the biggest budget. What is the need for the common man? It's a matter of history. See, we have not got into the threshold of 16 trillion before. So the last year budget was the biggest in the history of Nigeria.
So that means the next year after next year, which is 2023, we should expect something bigger.
The statement also read that it is not even up to what we should expect. A population of over 200 million, we should be looking at a budget of like 30 to 50 trillion. But are we there? In terms of revenue, how much can we honestly boast of that we can generate as far as this is concerned?
There are some states in America whose budget is even bigger than what
the
budget of Nigeria.
Tayo, we are not talking about the size of the budget. We are talking about the performance of the budget, the impact the budget is making. That is what we are looking at. Telling us that by history, this is the biggest budget in the history of the country. Of course, it's the biggest. Last year, too, was the biggest. During last year. So what are we looking at? How far have the life of our people become better as a result of budget implementation?
How much was expended in 2021? How did it perform?
That's the issue. Of course, the government will come out to tell you that, 69%, 70%. It is not just left for the government to sing the praises of about their policy.
How does it affect the common man? Let the people
come out. How does it affect the common man? We are talking about the cost of governance. We are talking about recurrent expenditure. How do you expect people to feel the impact of the budget? That is what we are looking at. Not even the size of the budget.
There have been calls rather that we should I say refurbish or renovate the refineries we have now. Experts now, because it looks like every year there's a new cycle of should I say, corruption, of spending and all that. And so now it looks like experts are now saying that the federal government should consider selling the refineries and other assets being used to siphon public resources in order to realize resources required to self-finance part. To sell and finance part of its budget deficit. How realistic is this advice?
If you have moribund assets that are not adding value, what are you supposed to do with such assets?
Sell.
It has already become like cost center for the country. But the truth of the matter is that anytime government comes up with this idea, some people will say this is our national heritage. The last time Obasanjo made the attempt to sell off this refinery, the Nigerian Labour Congress shut down the country. Buhari administration sometimes ago also mooted the idea. The Nigerian Labour Congress said, no, we don't want the idea. So what can the government do? Because in the presentation yesterday, the president also talks about the subsidy fund depleting the revenue of the government. Then it is shameful on the government. Let's even talk about failure on the part of successive administration. But President Muhammadu Buhari has spent 6 years in office. Why is it that after 6 years or after 21 years of democracy in Nigeria, we have not been able to eliminate what we call landing costs? You know, myself and somebody were interpreting the crude price during the week, because as at the close of business Friday last week, it was around $75 per barrel, and the person said, wow, this is good money for us, this is good for Nigeria. I said, no, it's good money for the government and paying for the citizen. You understand? It can only be
as a contradiction.
No, that is the way it works. That is because the crude is sold in dollars. It's supposed to be more revenue for the government. That is what it actually is. But since we have not been able to refine locally, it becomes pain for the people. NNPC came out yesterday to tell us that the subsidy differential is between 104, that the landing cost is 264 naira per litre. Why should there still be landing costs? The increment in the crude price at the international market will not benefit the common man in Nigeria until the government eliminate what we call landing costs. How do we do that? Boost local content in terms of local refining capacity. That is what we are talking about. The government is generating more money, of course, yes. We are going to have excess crude, yes. But what is in need for the common man? Because the way things are going, the government may want to remove subsidy. And we are saying you can't do that except at least you provide local refinery. At least let there be 70% refining capacity before you are able to do that.
All right. We're waiting on that government that will come and do things differently, particularly as regarding the budget. Alternative funding options for the budget, not just borrowing and presenting deficit budget year in, year out.
For today, there is no alternative financing option. Unfortunately, that is where we find ourselves. A budget that at the end of the day, government officials, public office holder benefit more.
So it means we cannot think outside of the box.
That is what it means. Let us expand the task net, reduce the cost of governance. We have said this time.
Is it rocket science?
It's not rocket science. It depends on the political will of the people.
Political will
of the people. Okay, we have to observe a break now. We'll take your calls and your messages after this break.
For those wondering if the new Schweppes Zobo tastes as good as they say it does, experience tells us. Try it. Find out for yourself. Introducing new Schweppes Zobo, made with over 200 years of experience.
Ilé-iṣẹ́ Danabit Homes and Property tún dé o.
Danabit Homes and Properties lóko rẹ̀.
Àtìkò pẹ̀lú ọ̀nà rọrùn tó yàtọ̀ láti sọ yín donílẹ̀ dónílé. Ilẹ̀ tiwa fi ní lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Wàhálà ọmọ onílé ò sí lọ́dọ̀ tiwa. Àwọn yàtọ̀ sáwọn tí ń talẹ̀ ojúgbó. Gbangba láàyè tó tẹ́jú nílẹ̀ wá wà. Àwa là ń ta Treasure Estate. Tí wà ní Ìdó ológun Ẹrúwé. 650,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan. Victory Estate phase 1 Alábàtàmọ́ níyà ń bàdàn. 5-minute drive. Sírẹ́lùwẹ̀ tuntun. Àti dry port. 800,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan o. Victory Estate phase 2 Alábàtàmọ́ níyà ń bàdàn bákan náà. náà ìrìnsẹ́jú mẹ́ta péré sínú railway line àti dry port 850,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan o. àǹfààní wà fún sísan díẹ̀díẹ̀ láàrin oṣù mẹ́ta níléeṣẹ́ Davis Homes and Property. àmẹ́ máa wá sílé iṣẹ́ wa fún àsọjẹ́ tó ń ti àjọsọpọ̀. eléyìí tó gún mọ́ fún sísan owó ọ̀hún. ẹni tó bá sanwó lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà gbé tán ó máa gba báàgì símẹ́ǹtì 5. a sì tún ṣe kọ́nà pìsì fún lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. ẹ̀yin náà máa bọ̀ sílé iṣẹ́ wa fún ilẹ̀ tó fi ní lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Davis Homes and Property. a wà ní Prime Time Plaza ọba alẹ́sìnlọ́yẹ̀ phase 2 lójú ọ̀nà tó lọ sí free. Ìbàdàn 0904-779-7352 0818-841-8137.
ò fẹ́ bẹ́gbẹ́ pé kó láwùjọ àwọn kòsíkòsí gbogbo ìgbà kó sì máa gbọ́ bùkátà pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn. ẹgbẹ́ alájẹsẹ́kù multilevel marketing cooperative investment credit society limited ladò bá ní ìmọ̀tòsí tí ń bá ní ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀la nílànà káràkátà àwọn kò ṣeé mọ̀ ní ojoojúmọ́ bíi herbal food supplement àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. bẹ́ẹ̀ lè tó ẹ̀yáwó ọlọ́kan ọ̀jọ̀kan dúró dè ọ́ bó ṣe ń darapọ̀ mẹ́gbẹ́ alájẹsẹ́kù multilevel marketing tí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá sì darapọ̀ mọ́ wa pẹ̀lú owó yín ó máa jèrè tabua lóṣooṣù. bákan náà ni gbogbo ẹni tó bá dókòwò pẹ̀lú wa láti sin yìí ló máa gbẹ̀bùn fáànù jẹnẹrétọ̀ tẹlifíṣàn àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. èyí wà fájọyọ̀ bá a ṣe ń pín ọdún kan lóṣù October ọdún tá a wà yìí. ẹ kàn sí multilevel marketing ní health concern building lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ MRS filling station nítòsí Bishop Phillips Academy Ìwó Road Ìbàdàn. àtẹ̀kálẹ̀ iṣẹ́ wa ní Stanbic Bank building Niger West area Challenge Ìbàdàn pé 090-5000-4816 090-5000-4816.
Set to fresh. I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid fuel chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. Yes, I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Santa Fresh. The correct chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. No darling with Santa Fresh.
Santa Fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use Kung Fu?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
ẹ jẹ́ n sọ fún yín pa Zainabu bó bá ti jí láàárọ̀ yóò kọ́ jẹun tó dáa yóò wá gbé pabambarì lé lórí Didion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12 ara ti mókùnù ọpọlọ ti jí pépé iṣẹ́ yá.
lẹ́ òjò.
káàárọ̀ Zainab ìdí nù ti fi máa pegedé lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ rẹ̀.
jọ̀ọ́ bá náwó mọ̀wé hùn.
àti pàápàá ń bi eré Didion syrup of hemoglobin ní èròjà vitamin B12 nínú tí yóò mú kọ́pọlọ àtara rẹ̀ ó jí pépé ní ìgbáradì fún àṣeyọrí tí ọ̀lẹ́gbẹ́ ń gbà gbogbo. mu ṣíbí méjì Didion péré lójoojúmọ́ pẹ̀lú ṣíbí lásán tàbí kọ́ pòpọ̀ pẹ̀lú ohun mímu ẹlẹ́rìndòdò tó o bá fẹ́ràn. ọ̀yá gbéra ńlẹ̀ bí akọni pẹ̀lú Didion.
To be healthy, strong and active, I say. Take Didion's.
Didion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12 agbára tí ń roni lágbára ẹ kàwé pélébé inú rẹ̀.
All right, time for us to get your feedback on the headlines we took and, of course, the stories we analyzed. 0705 5949 and 0809 7949. Those are the numbers to call to share your thoughts this morning. You can also drop your comments on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. 32FM 949 Ibadan. 32FM 949 Ibadan. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Alaji.
Alaji Asadan from Coca-Cola.
Nice to have you.
Good morning, Austin. I think we should stop over-stressing ourselves or over-bothering ourselves with kind of a treatment we are getting in Nigeria. Nigeria, under the present government, has been an animal farm where some where cattle and some tribes are more equal than others. We should just continue to talk, but not to overstress ourselves on this matter. That was that. On the issue of borrowing, I think Senate President is now realizing the fact that he can no longer cover Mr. President. And it's high time, Bajabi Amina, our own too, come out in clear terms that the leadership of the National Assembly will not tolerate any further borrowing.
Thank you, Elijah. Yeah, it's like Bajabi Amila, our own.
Our own.
Maybe he should do his job. But who cares where you come from?
Whether it's our own. You should make laws that will impact positively the life of the people.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. What's your name, sir?
I'm John Njoko. I'm talking from Mokola here. You see, emergency rule is always with the consent of the Attorney General of the Federation. And so the possibility of emergency rule in Anambra State is an extension of the marginalization of Igbo people by this government. The situation in Anambra does not warrant emergency rule. Malami is structurally an art federalist that seems to be the voice of things that are not federalists in this country. The federal government should beef up security in Anambra a week before that election and make sure all those valuable points are well guarded. Then election will be held and everything will be okay. I'm John Njoko. Thank you.
Thank you, John Njoko. 0705 500949 0809 700949. Hello. Move away from your radio set. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Yes, I said it on this platform.
What's your name, sir?
There is no way. I'm Omobasho talking from Ibadan.
Oh, good to have you.
Please, there is no way our so-called leaders can take us to the promised land. That is the truth of the matter, because you don't have serious-minded and God-fearing leaders in this country. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you, Omar Bashir. Hello. Good morning. 0705 500949 0809 700949. Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
If Malami, this is from Oyo. If Malami did not say anything about state of emergency, maybe I know we will not secure. Why run it to President Muhammadu Buhari because the security vote? I personally disagree about state of emergency, but with options of Austin, federal government should do the needful in every part of the country, not only Anambra State. Secondly, about borrowing, it's very alarming that we are borrowing. But yesterday I was saying about if we have used our resources very well, this government will not borrow. $110 per barrel, $70 billion extra reserve to less than $30 billion. We have managed our economy. This government has no choice than to borrow to finance the budget. Have a nice time.
Thank you, Shago. 0705 500949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Benny. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Yeah.
Good morning. Yeah.
Yeah. When you know that you are not generating enough, why are you consuming a lot? Those government officials should reduce what they are consuming. Simple. It's a simple economy. You are not generating much. When you were generating much, you couldn't make use of it. Now that you are not generating much, what you will do, you reduce the consumption.
Thank you, Joe. And Austin, Sheku said this administration or the government has no choice than to borrow. How
there's choice. We have choice. The government need to think outside the box. The government has also mismanaged the economy. That's the truth.
I think our people are still making excuses for the government.
Yes.
Laziness on the part of government.
No. We shouldn't make excuse for the government. There have been failure on the part of successive administration.
Okay.
But this government has also failed.
Welcome on board, John. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, this is John Lariwaju from Agbo. When we are justifying the government about borrowing because of mismanagement, who in charge of the mismanagement? Is it not the federal government? So it is management coming from their salary of and their allowances. They approve for themselves. That is why I disagree with the removal of subsidy. Removal of subsidy rather. Why will you do removal of subsidy? Who are the people that enjoy the money? Even if you remove the subsidy, who will enjoy it? It's not the masses. It's for those that when in the government, the senators and the presidency, because of their allowances. That is why I go against it. Let the subsidies remain. And the remaining money that you may have, let them continue spending. When there is no money to spend again, nobody will pay them before they will reduce their salary and allowances. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, John. Osanadumo, we are borrowing to fund our excessive lifestyle.
Consumption, our opulence, our reckless lifestyle. That is what we are borrowing for. And that does not take a nation anywhere. So let the governments redefine and restructure our borrowing plan. There's no excuse for any government to. So they have no reason.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning, Austin. Good morning. This is okay.
All right, okay. Go ahead.
It's so funny, Austin, that we are making excuses for the government, for their failures. I actually believe our voting them in was to make corrections, and so that we won't still remain where we are. But we need to ask ourselves, have we left where we are, or are we going back? Please, we should think and ask this question. Austin, God bless you with your analysis this morning. But like somebody just said, how come we are so good in wasting and spending and not checking what is coming in? Our coming in is commensurate to what we are spending. Like the other man just said now, maybe by the time we finish spending everything, then it will dawn on us, then we will step back. Good morning.
Good morning. Is it possible to get to a point where we no longer have organizations and countries who would borrow us money?
Well, Nigeria, just like a business entity, is a going concern. So there will always be country
that
or
would be
organization
willing to
that will borrow us. In as much as
should we be scared in advance?
In as much as we still exist, but I hope we will not get to that level.
009 7000 949 0705 5000 949. Okay, I think we should present a common front as Nigerians when we engage government.
Yes.
Right? This idea of people making excuses for, like we say again, the indolence, okay, the laziness, okay, and the lack of, just being smart when it comes to governance.
Of those in government.
I think
that it has happened before does not mean that it must continue to happen. That is the essence of a new government.
Good morning.
My own contribution is, do we have National Assembly? That people are saying they will not support borrowing. National Assembly that approve a nominee that started school before bad. Now, we are talking about economic mismanagement. They are borrowing because of their salary. And secondly, look at even a few weeks ago when they said a certain amount of money was traced to the Master DG that can even pay the Nigerian debt. Now, Rashidi may not own debt also. When he looted the pension fund, he was the prosecutor or whatever, nothing was done to it. They are borrowing to loot and divide the money among themselves. Like Austin said, that for the benefit of the government, and something of the matter, that is exactly what is happening. Because National Assembly that without approving the loan, government will not be able to pay the muggles among their collecting until when we stand out, because there is no country that beat to the peak without revolution. It does not need to be bloody for the weak until we masses stand up and revolute. That is only when peace will come.
In what way? In what way, before you go?
Now, the only thing is, we can stand up by start protesting that this thing is becoming too much. Okay, we are even now saying that we don't even want
protesting, marching. You mean marching the streets?
Of course, now, because that is the language this government understands.
Are we sure they really understand?
That is the only government they understand.
Okay, thank you. Austin, do they understand this
we
language?
Keep saying that.
I don't think so.
So what language do they understand?
Well, we'll continue,
how do we communicate?
We'll continue to engage. Our protest should have been the language, but our government has made every effort to even criminalize civil protests in the country. One of the reasons why we must not make excuses for the government.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is coming back. I'm not giving an excuse for government for their failure. The APC government, Buhari government is a failure on economy and security of Nigeria. But if we have managed our studies very well, we will not find ourselves in this situation. That's what I'm not giving an excuse for any government. They are all failure. Have a nice time.
Am I the one managing the resources for
But
that?
what has this government done differently That's the issue.
We came on a change mantra.
See, we no longer make money like we used to make. But our political office holder still collect more than they used to collect. That's the people. You are asking for sacrifices on the part of the people. Let charity begins at home.
Are they not the highest paid lawmakers in the world?
That is the issue.
In a country that does not have money.
Most of this borrowing, at the end of it, out of all these budgets, larger percentage of it will go to private accounts. That's the issue. Borrowing is not bad in itself. But what are we borrowing for? We are borrowing to service consumption. That cannot take us anywhere.
Until we are able to think out of the box. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., we'll be back. My name is Bimisola Shuyemi.
Austin, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
My name is Olutayo Gwade. Have a great Friday. Bye for now.
Don't miss out on the exciting movies on Mnet, Hollywood Sexiest Pop-Up Channel 111. Available